All right, welcome back to another Master and Apprentice video / podcast. How you doing today, Afton?
I'm doing pretty good myself. How about you?
Glad you're doing good yourself.
Yeah, that's the most important part.
Andor just finished up. I know we're about 2 days late now. It might be 3 days, depending on the time of this video coming out. But instead of doing each episode review and breakdown, we're just gonna do one real quick for the series. I know they don't really do. You guys don't really enjoy them on the YouTube channel here, but I still want to do it, so we're gonna do it. Overall for the series, I think what would you give it out of 10?
Series wise, I can't recall what I gave other series. I probably put it at 7.5 maybe. 7.
Okay. Yeah. That's why I think I put Kenobi. I think
I put this
Boba
on
was
par
a
with
6.
Kenobi, honestly.
Yeah, and I would have to agree. I think I put it on par with Kenobi. Kenobi for most of the series sucked, and its finale was a banger. And I think this one, it was mostly mid all the way through. And so I'm gonna have to give it a 7. Yeah, 7 sounds right to me. Its finale wasn't bad. Its finale was on par with a lot of the good episodes in this series. But I think if anyone's heard anything about Andor, the biggest thing they've heard is that it's really slow pacing. And any way you look at it, no matter what, you can agree it's slow pacing. It really is. And while I don't have a problem with a slower paced episode or series, and I don't need like lots of fighting, it's a lot of characters that we don't really, for lack of better words, just don't care about all that much, right?
Some of them
If it
die.
was pretty slow on, let's say, Han Solo story, we would be intrigued still because we want to know a lot about Han Solo, right? If it was slow about Andor, we might want to know a lot about Andor, but it's not. Most of the series, about 50% of it isn't even about Andor half the time, right? Like, I think Andor has maybe less than 50% of most screen time, and so that in mind, like it can't be the greatest because I mean, it's slow and it's not super intriguing at times. It has super intriguing episodes, but there's quite a few episodes that just repeat the episode beforehand. I think it was episode 5 was one of my least favorite episodes. And I think episode 11 I was also pretty disappointed by. So episode 4, they're getting ready for this heist on Aldani. And pretty much the end episode. All right, let's get ready for Aldani. All right, Andor starts learning the ins and outs of this garrison base. Episode 5 is nothing but that. It's them learning, okay, what's the ins and outs? I mean, we just learned about all of that in the previous episode 4. So right there is an episode they really could have taken out, and we would have not missed anything. Like, we would not have. Like, it did not bring anything to the table. Episode 11, while it wasn't a bad episode, it didn't add a lot of story arc. It pretty much all that it did was tell different characters about the plans of other characters. Right, like it didn't really add a lot to the story arc, and with that, it was the episode before the finale, and so I felt like it didn't bring a lot to the table as getting ready for the finale, right? Because part of a finale is you're supposed to be hyped for it, and I didn't even watch this on the first day because I wasn't hyped for the finale because of episode 11, right? So it didn't like I felt like its plot development would come in bursts. Like sometimes it would be really intriguing and be really fun. And other times there was no plot development. They were just trying to character build through the whole episode.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can do that. I really don't because it's not character. We know most of these characters end up dying. So it's not on characters that we truly cared about. If it was again an episode about character building on, let's say, like a Luke Skywalker, someone we all love and want to know more about, or like I say, a Grand Inquisitor, a character that's mysterious, we don't know a lot about. Sure, but it's about characters like Bix, who is this random side chick of Andor that we barely know, right? Or characters like Deidre. Like, I'm pretty much all assuming Deidre's going to die at the end of this series.
Deidre's a cool character, but we do not give up piece of crap. Episode 5 was character development on everyone, almost but Andor in that group. Episode 6, everyone but one person that they just character developed died.
Yeah.
What the frick?
Yeah.
It's pointless.
Again, I'm going to hark on it for some slow things, but to give it props, I think it was a lot more visually pleasing than any of the stuff Star Wars has put out, including Mandalorian. I think the actual cinematography, the visual effects, the special effects, all of that was way better than any of the Star Wars projects besides maybe, let's say, one of the Clone Wars, because that's animated, so they're their reign of possibilities is endless with that. But for live action, personally, I think this has looked the best out of all the live actions. I think the acting is pretty on par with Mandalorian, if not better. And I think that was really, really done well here. The music, the first 3 episodes, I thought the music was really weird because they had like bass guitar going at some parts and like some snare drums. I was like, what in the world is this? But like the latter half of this show, the last 6 episodes, the music was great. And I think that's something that was pretty. I think Kenobi didn't have a very good music. I think it was kind of like Boba and Mando both had great music, and I think Kenobi was missing on that. I think that was something that Andor picked up on that was missed.
Yeah.
You got any props to give it?
I mean, I really like, again, I'm going to go back to the visual effects. I haven't ever seen what happened to a tractor beam, and if I'm not mistaken, episode 10 or maybe 11, probably 10, happened to a tractor beam. Like, that was such a cool little thing to see, and they did it just so beautifully. The dog fight they had with
Episode
the ship,
6, where it was the
meteor shower thing.
meteor shower, that was a really cool
It was
scene.
beautiful.
And I know they made it super colorful to make it a beautiful scene, but they still hit the spot. It was still a really cool scene to watch.
And then one of the earlier episodes, episode 2 and 3, they're in the jungle. It looked really cool. It looked beautiful.
It did look really good.
They have some great visual effects. I think if I just read this book, if this was a book and I just read it for the plot,
It'd be a good book.
It would be a good book because books can be longer.
Yeah.
Personally think, again, I'm going to go back to this should be a 9-episode series. You could have taken out episode 5 and 11, and then first like 10 minutes of the last episode, you could take out bits here and there where just nothing is happening. Which is fine if you want to drop a whole series in one day and then have people binge it, but you just added 3 hours to people's lives that they're never going to get back. Is what pretty much I feel like.
Yeah. No, there were some episodes that just didn't need to be in there.
Yeah.
And if you're going to make a 12-part series, and then I guess it's not really something to hark on, but it's just something to keep in mind that I didn't like was they left it really open-ended, and it's confirmed we have a season 2 coming, and I think they played on that too much, because people aren't going to want to watch season 2 if they're not interested in season 1, right? I mean, we still will. Most Star Wars fans will, but let's say someone who's just watching to watch a Star Wars show, they're not going to well, this sucks. I don't really want to watch another boring season.
No.
So they got to keep that in mind. I think they played into that a little too much. But with that in mind, I am excited for season 2. The way it dropped off, I think it's going to be an intriguing season 2.
And not that you can't have a slow first series and still an amazing second series. Just look at Mandalorian. Season 1 was pretty slow in my opinion.
Yeah.
Season 2 popped off only because everyone loved it and everyone talked about it. If everyone doesn't love and talk about Andor Season 2, it's not going to do... It'll probably just do as well or even worse than Season 1. And I don't hear anyone talking about it. I don't see this breaking any records at the moment.
Yeah,
anything like that. It's a good series.
It's good. I've heard quite a bit of like most people didn't like Kenobi. Most people didn't like Boba, or if they did, they were on the fence about it, kind of being mid. I've heard like both sides of the story to this series. People love it, and this is like some of the best Star Wars we've gotten pretty much the last 2 years. Or people are like, it's not bad, but it's really freaking slow, and that's boring the hell out of me. And I'm kind of on the middle. Like, I think this has potential to be really great, but I think it is really slow pacing, and they've got to speed it up just a little bit.
It feels like if they put Rogue One into a series. That was an amazing movie. It was beautiful, but 2.5 hours is more than long enough. 2 hours is long enough.
Yeah. So let us know down in the comments what you guys think of it. If you guys think it was too slow, if you guys thought it was really great, if you guys enjoyed the series, what you guys thought of the finale, and then if you guys are excited for the season 2. Because personally, I'm excited for season 2, but I want to know how the fan base feels about the second season and what to be expected.
Yeah, I'm pumped up for this because I feel like it could be like Mandalorian, where season 2 is just amazing. Not that season 1 of this isn't good, but it's slow again. I mean, I like a lot of things about this. I'm really excited. More Star Wars content.
Yeah, and then the next series we got is Bad Batch, January 4th. So be ready for some breakdowns and reviews of that also on the podcast and Star Wars with Daddy streams 7:30.
Yep.
And then if you guys enjoyed this, please hit that like, hit that subscribe, comment again what you guys, all the questions I asked, what you guys are excited for, if you liked it, all of that. It helps the channel. And then if you're on podcast, hit the follow, download. It really helps the podcast. And with that, we hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.